And we are live. Good evening po sa inyong lahat back there in the Philippines. And of course, if you are in anywhere else, no, in any other part of the world, po pwedeng good morning, good afternoon, or good evening din po sa inyo. And of course, we welcome you to Gurong Pinoy's Review Online. This is going to be a 20-minute or a 20-item discussion of your professional education. Those items that you have answered through your quizzes link that was posted on our Facebook page today. Okay, of course, you can find us on YouTube as Gurong Pinoy. You can also still find us on Facebook as Gurong Pinoy. You may also find us on Instagram and TikTok as Gurong Pinoy. If this is your first time to watch us, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and of course follow our Facebook page because all the updates are found in our Facebook page. All right, now of course before we start with anything else, we'll first have our opening prayer. This still has been prepared for us by Pastor Efren Esteban. So samahan niyo po ako sa ating opening prayer.
Lord God, maraming salamat po sa walang tigil mo pong pagtulong sa bawat isa sa amin na iraos po namin ang bagong taon, Panginoon. Alam po namin na ikaw ang reason bakit po kami nakakasurvive, Panginoon, because of your grace and mercy. Panginoon, salamat po sa kabutihan mo sa bawat isa sa amin. Panginoon, hiniling ho namin sa amin pong review na tulungan po kami, pagkalooban po kami ng pagkaintindi sa lahat ng mga leksyon na aming aaralin sa oras pong ito. Patuloy mo po na pagpalain ang bawat pamilya ho namin, Panginoon. Iniaasa po namin ang lahat, O Diyos, dahil ikaw po ang makapangyarihang Diyos na nagpapala, tumitingin sa bawat intention, bawat puso namin, O Diyos. Kaya kami po ay lumalapit po sa inyo sa nagkakaisang panalangin po na ito. Patuloy mo pong pagpalain, O Diyos, ang bawat isa. Pagkalooban po ng karunungan sa aming mga desisyon na ginagawa. Isa pong magandang desisyon, O Diyos, ang aming pinili na maging guro, O Diyos. Sana po ay tulungan mo po kami na maganap ang mga pangarap po namin na ito. Panginoon, salamat po sa isang magandang regalo sa amin, ang Panginoong Jesus, na dahil sa Kanya, ay itinuro po ang pagmamahalan sa bawat isa. Panginoon, ikaw po ang maitaas at makilala sa lahat ng aming mga ginagawa. Samahan po kami sa kabuuan ng pag-aaral po na ito. Ang lahat pong ito, O Diyos, ay dalangin namin sa pangalan ni Kristo Jesus na aming Panginoon at Manunubos. Amen.
Amen. So muli maraming salamat Pastor Efren for always preparing our opening and closing prayers whenever we have our live stream. Now again, Gurong Pinoy has an exclusive FB group and it is called Grow. Grow is Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. This is where we send all the exclusive materials that we have. If you want to have the soft copy of the things that I'm discussing, you can find all this on Grow. Even if you are just joining Grow today or maybe tomorrow, you can still go back to all of the materials that we have. They're just all found in Grow. Okay, so again, Grow po is Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. These are exclusive FB group where you can find all the exclusive materials that we have. Now, the payment for Grow is very cheap. It's only 500 pesos. This is a one-time payment. You can pay through Palawan, Cebuana ML, through Metro Bank, through Gramroad, through our PayPal, and all the details can be found on your screen. If you don't know how to do this or if you can't keep track of all of this, if I'm moving too fast, then you can also send a message through our Facebook page. Okay, magpadala lamang po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page and then you can easily be guided on how to become a part of Grow. Okay, again, Grow is Gurong Pinoy Review Online Work Group. That's only 500 pesos. This is a one-time payment. Now, we still have some other parts of our promotions. Now, yung majoring enrollment natin, meron tayong 1,000 pesos for Bio, English, Social Science or SOCSI, Math, your Filipino, and MAPE. We already have our majorships on this. Now, what happens in your majorship is that all exclusive materials are found in their Google Classroom. So on Saturdays, what is posted is their sets, the set of questions. There are 50 questions in your set. And of course, on Sunday, you are going to find the answer key and the discussion video. Okay, so sometimes there can be delays. As of the moment, we still have a delay on English. So we deeply apologize. We sincerely apologize for our English majors. We're still waiting for the uploaded video of Professor Paul. But for the rest of your major, I believe that you already have your discussion videos. So again, that's only 1,000 pesos. You can just go back to all the materials materials that we have. Even if you are just going to be joining them today, okay, today or within the week, for example, you can just easily go back to all the sets that you have missed, okay, because all the materials can just be found in your classroom. Set 1, set 2, your set 3 are already in your classroom. Now, again, as I have mentioned, all the lectures that we have are high caliber lectures. I know that you are learning a lot from them. I've received so many good feedbacks from all of you as to your majorship coaches, no? So alam natin na magagaling itong coaches nyo. I don't know where you can find where else you can find these types of coaches that we have found for you. So again, I'm vouching for their capacity. I'm vouching that they can help you really pass the let. So again, your majoring enrollment is only 1,000 pesos. That's only for the majorships that we have on the screen. We also have an all-in-one enrollment. It's still 1,250. That's Grow. Grow again is Gen Ed ProfEd plus majoring. Okay, all the majors are found on your screen. That's the 6 majors that we have our lecturers in. Okay, now what about the rest of the majors? Again, if you are not in any of those majors that I've mentioned, you still have a chance to get into our Google Classroom and to get a hold of our freebies. If you're a TLE major, Agri and Fish major, Values Ed and PhysSci, all you need to do is to follow the instructions that you find in your Gen Sci with Doc H na videos natin on YouTube. There are 2 YouTube videos entitled Gen Sci with Doc H, and you can just follow the instructions there. And of course, we will be adding you to your TLE, Agri and Fish, Values Ed, and Physical Science majorship Google Classroom. You can find all the freebies that you find there. Again, there's no payment. That's only freebies because we cannot find any lecture for you. Okay, now another thing, before I forget, no, January 2021 schedule natin. Remember that on the weekend, next weekend natin, wala po tayong discussion for Gen Ed and ProfEd. Instead of Saturday and Sunday, we are moving it on Thursday and Friday. So again, Thursday and Friday of the following week, we are going to have your Gen Ed and ProfEd. But then again, your majoring, your majorship schedules would still go as usual. And of course, for the rest of the weekend, we still follow the usual schedule that we have, the 7:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Okay, now we've also started your math tricks with your coach Dennis Bendicion. We are trying to book for a live with Coach Dennis. So we will find out if we can start with a live discussion with any of you. If you have questions, then just put that in your notebook, for example. Now get a hold of that. And we will tell you, we will give an announcement whether there's going to be a live discussion with Coach Dennis Bendicion. So again, one way for you to keep updated is to download our app. We have an app, no? That's Guru Pinoy's app. There is an app that you can easily download. And of course, you can just easily follow the Facebook page. All the exclusive materials or all the updates that we have, announcements that we have, can be found on our Facebook page. Now again, but tonight, before I forget, also your civil service, we also are selling the books now for prof level and sub-prof level. If you know someone who's going to be taking the civil service, then tell them that there's some material that Guru Pinoy is selling. It's prof level and sub-prof level. It's all ebooks, okay? These are all just ebooks. Just send a message to our Facebook page so that you can easily be guided as to how to get a hold of our book. But then again, your main goal today, the main goal that we have today, of course, is to discuss your 20 item, okay, the 20 item na ProfEd natin that you have, of course, already answered through our quizzes link. If you were not able to answer this, it's your first time to watch us, then make sure that you mention that so that you can be welcomed by our Team YouTube and our Team Facebook. Team YouTube, go ahead and please like our video. Again, go ahead and like our video. If you're watching us on Team YouTube, good evening po sa inyong lahat. And if you're watching us on Facebook, Team Facebook, go ahead and please share our video, react to our video, start a watch party, tag your friends. Thank you so much po sa lahat ng mga nagtatag na ng kanilang friends, ng mga nag-share ng ating video. And of course, sa lahat po ng mga nag-i-invite din ng kanilang mga classmates. No? Thank you so much, Ma'am Vil Slofer Bolok-Bolok. Good evening for sharing our video. Maraming salamat po. Again, please do share our video. Thank you so much, Ma'am Mary Jean Martinez Jaime, for tagging a friend. Good evening po. And Ma'am Karsuma Kasim Asan, Assalamualaikum. Thank you po for tagging your friends. Okay, so again, please do tag your friends. Start a watch party, share our video on Facebook, share this on all the groups that you have. and so that we can easily reach out to more people. We can also help them pass the let. Thank you for starting a watch party, Sir Jason Abarquestante, Sir John Andrew Carlos. Maraming salamat po. Okay, thank you so much for those of you who are starting a watch party. For those of you who have tagged your friends, for those of you who have shared our video, maraming salamat po. Now, how to enroll, Ma'am Cha Campano, thank you so much for starting a watch party. Please do send a message through Guru Pinoy's Facebook page kung saan po kayo nanonood ng live today or tonight, no? Mamaya po mag-send po kayo ng message. Ma'am Denmi, maraming salamat po for starting a watch party. Ganun din kay Ma'am Baby Zara Balubugan. And for tagging your friends, thank you, Ma'am Baby. Ma'am Analem Coreses Penamente, thank you for starting a watch party. Okay, now again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please do like this video. Go ahead and like this video so that we can start our discussion. Ma'am Diana Rose Peraan, this is a question from YouTube. Ma'am, may bayad po ba ang inyong final coaching? Final coaching, of course, is going to be free for our Grow members. And that is one of the advantages, one of the benefits that you get for joining Grow, no? All the exclusive tests that we have, the big tests that we have, of course, that is going to be exclusive for our Grow members. We are starting to track the scores of our Grow members. And so if you are in Grow, again, if you are part of Grow and hindi ka pa nakapag-join dun sa ating exclusive Google Classroom, pumunta po kayo sa Grow later. There is an instruction there. So if you fall under a particular last name, no, yung sa alphabetical po kasi yung ating arrangement doon. There are Google Classrooms there. There are 3 Google Classrooms that I've set up for our Grow members. It's exclusive for our Grow members. Just follow the instructions kung saan po yung last name ninyo, no, because it's alphabetical. And of course, there is an information sheet that we are asking you to fill out so that we can easily track your score for the upcoming pre-qualifying test that's going to be on February, you know, in February. Because of course, in February, we are celebrating our first anniversary on YouTube and also, of course, on Facebook doing live streams. Okay, so we are going to have the pre-qualifying again, all this. Even the final coaching will be exclusive for our Grow members. So magpa-member na po kayo sa Grow. It's only 500 pesos. That's Gen Ed and ProfEd. Okay, so free po yan. Okay. All right, so we start. Again, please do share our video, start a watch party, and please do like our video if you are watching us on YouTube, okay? We start with your professional education. This is the 20 items that you have answered through your quizzes link today. So again, the next quizzes link that we'll have will be on Thursday, okay? Thursday morning, 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Po pwede nyo pong answeran yung inyong quizzes, and of course, 7:30 p.m. we are going to have our live stream. Maraming salamat sa ating midwife, Ma'am Joy Dairit, for your maagang pakape. All right, we're back. Okay, can you already see me now? We apologize, no, may nangyari yata sa aming internet. Please give us a thumbs up sign or maybe say you can already see me now. Can you already see me? Ayan na. Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Izay na Schumann, ayan na. Back now. Okay, we're so sorry. Now there has been a glitch on the internet. Nag-stop po yung internet namin. Okay, so we are back with question number 1. Again, in classroom management, this is an immediate and effective way to address 3 misbehaving students. What is your answer for number 1? Is it letter A, detain 3 after class? Letter B, assign them separate seats? Letter C, stop classes till the 3 stop misbehaving? Or letter D, send them to the guidance room? What's the answer? Okay, maraming salamat for those of you who are saying okay na. Thank you po. Oh, na-stop yung ating internet. All right, what's your answer now? Some of you on YouTube are answering. Okay, karamihan sa YouTube, your answer is letter B. What about dito sa ating Facebook? Ma'am Laila Estibal, maraming salamat po for starting a watch party. Ma'am Chona Audan Raot, maraming salamat for sharing our video. Okay. Now, a lot of you on YouTube and on Facebook are also both Team YouTube and Team Facebook are answering letter B. And of course, that is the correct answer. Okay? Yan po yung ating tamang sagot dito. This is an immediate and effective way to address 3 misbehaving students. And our answer would be assign them separate seats. Okay, we're looking for immediate. Hindi po pwedeng i-detain mo sila. That would be after class, no? Sa after class pa siya. And of course, we also can't stop the classes till the 3 stop misbehaving. Again, remember, whenever you are managing your classroom, the more discreet you are, the better. Meaning, mas hindi obvious, mas better, no? So, better siya if hindi obvious yung pagdidisiplina mo sa iyong estudyante. Yung hindi nga aware yung other classmates nila kung ano nangyari, no? Hindi nila alam na meron kang sinaway. Okay, so we also can choose letter C. For letter D naman, this is not in accordance with classroom management. That means you were not able to manage your classroom because you have easily just given up and told them to just go to the guidance office. Okay, so this is not in accordance with good classroom management. Dapat kasi as a teacher, tayo mismo nakakapagdisiplina sa ating estudyante, no? As much as possible, you contain any troubles, any misbehavior inside your classroom. So letter B here is the correct answer that we have. Here in the US, sa aming pong classroom, no, outside of our classrooms, meron kaming pulis, no? So may pulis po dito kada school, may 2 pulis. So for any trouble, there's going to be the policeman. And of course, sometimes the students can be taken to the police office, no, or juvenile office. Now, for anything that happens in your classroom, po pwedeng, of course, you can do any classroom management style, no, any classroom management techniques that you can do. And we also have an emergency button. So meron din po kaming emergency button na kung hindi mo talaga kaya, kung may nagrarambulan ng mga estudyante inside your room, then you have to just press the emergency button. And of course, the policeman, the admin will just go inside your classroom, no? So, i-rescue ka yung admin. But of course, ano po to, no, disadvantages po to sa ating part. Now, this shows that as a teacher, you cannot control your students. As a teacher, you have no command on your students. You have no authority over your students. So again, classroom management is very important. Here in the US, I can say, of course, content is also important, but it's much more on classroom management. Ibang klase po yung mga estudyante dito, no? So as I have told you before, maybe I have mentioned, there were several times that I had to stop fights inside my room, okay? So merong minsan na magre-referee ka inside the classroom, 2 estudyanteng masyadong matatangkad, nasa gitna kanila, and you are trying to stop them from fighting, no? So that happens. So of course, classroom management is really very important. And here, students are very unpredictable. Hindi mo alam kung ano tumatakbo sa isip nila. Ibang klase yung estudyante dito, no? So you cannot be here if you're sensitive. Minsan, sasagot sila ng pabalang sa'yo, for example, no? But that is not really because they want to bastos, no? Na hindi nila gustong bastusin ka talaga. But that is just the way that they do things. Walang nagturo sa kanila kung paanong sumagot na maayos sa mga mas nakakatanda kasi kahit dito no dito kasi no kahit 12 years old for example at isang 60 years old they don't say tita tito walang ate walang kuya dito so they just call a person by its name no by her name or by his name so pwedeng sabihin lang niya Joan pero yung Joan na yan is 60 years old siya ay 12 years old. Okay, so as you can see, iba yung respeto na ibibigay ng mga Eastern students, no, tayong mga Asians especially. We are very respectful because of course of filial piety nga na binigay sa atin ni Confucius, so dito iba. And so you cannot be sensitive, you have to really accept the fact that they are like that. Okay, so when you come here, even with all your titles back in the Philippines, you need to leave all those titles. Doktor ka, professor ka, dean ka, walang pakialam yung mga estudyante dito. Kailangan marunong kang i-handle yung students mo, alam mo yung content mo, at alam mo kung paano ang tawag dito, ibigay talaga sa kanila or masabi sa kanila na meron kang authority, no? So you have to really maintain your authority over your students. So that's very important. Classroom management po is very important. So letter B, assign them separate seats. That's the correct answer. Now, number 2, shy and timid students can be best helped by providing letter A, tolerance, letter B, encouragement, letter C, discipline, guidance, or letter D, persistent counseling. What's the answer? Okay, anong answer nyo for question number 2? What's the answer for number 2? Again, please do like our video, heart our video, start a watch party, tag your friends. Maraming salamat for those of you who've already done that. Ma'am Enin Burge Dubria, maraming salamat po for starting a watch party. And good afternoon. She's watching from Qatar. Hapon yata sa Qatar ngayon. All right, now a lot of you on Team YouTube are answering letter B. Sa ating namang Team Facebook, ganun din, letter B. And of course, we know that that is the correct answer. Okay, so letter B, encouragement, that is the correct answer here. If you have shy students and timid students, and of course, what we can do is to encourage them. It's okay, you have to join them. You have to develop this, you have to recite, you have to join your group, no? So dapat ganun yung sabihin natin sa ating estudyante, hindi tolerance, hindi discipline, guidance, hindi persistent counseling. Now, I have a student right now, of course, we're still doing virtual, and I have a student, of course, if it's virtual, I'd always tell them to turn on your camera so that I can check your attendance. Now, I have a student, she is a student with special needs, and she doesn't want to be on camera. So what she do is, she just turn on the camera, but I have, of course, the IEP, yung tinatawag nating IEP dito, no, Individualized Educational Plan. Ito yung binibigay sa ating mga students with special needs. So meron silang kanya-kanyang IEP. So we would attend the IEP. Ang mahirap kasi dito din, yung students mo with special needs are mixed with your mainstream students, are mixed with your regular students, no? So sa isang klase mo na may 30 students, meron kang ADHD, meron kang bingi, meron kang may mga learning disabilities, no? So, kailangan basahin mo din yung kanilang IEP, and you have to follow their IEP. So, sometimes the IEP would say you have to give her 2 days to finish assignments, no, without deductions, for example. You need to follow that because that is under the law. Okay, so if you don't follow that, pwede kang kasuhan, no? Pwede kang kasuhan, pwede kang maikulong if you don't follow the IEP of your students with special needs. But of course, here for number 2, the correct answer is for us to encourage them. Encourage your shy and timid students. Now, ipasok ko lang, as teachers, of course, we need to encourage the shy and timid students. But as parents, of course, we also have a very big responsibility to boost and encourage our child, no? So wala naman siguro magiging shy and timid students kung merong mga parents talaga na hinihikayat yung kanilang mga anak, gawin mo to anak, or for example, yung anak mo ay kakanta, or yung anak mo ay tutula, or sasayaw, no? Encourage your child. So papalakpakan, ang galing-galing naman, because this is one way for your child to boost the confidence, no? I can remember when I was growing up, You know me, I'm very madaldal. I can remember when I was growing up no, in Iloilo, of course, in Namocon, in Tigbawan, and there were for example, there's brownout, no, pag brownout walang ilaw. What my parents would do would be pinapapatong kami sa table, and of course we are going to have a program. So usually I'd be the MC, and then I'd be singing, I'd be dancing along with my siblings, okay? And then of course, while you are growing up, you do this also in front of the public, no? So kakanta ka, sasayaw ka in front of the public, you speak in front of the public. And so of course, through this, you develop your self-confidence, okay? You make sure that you don't have any stage fright, okay? So as parents right now, if you have small kids, encourage them, and of course try to listen to them, always be their audience, and whatever it is that they have, if you can see any talent, then nurture that, okay? So letter B, encouragement here. Encouragement is very, very important as teachers, and of course more important as parents. All right, now number 3, in his math class, teacher Lai showed a graph and then asked what data is the graph concerned, rather than what do you see in the graph. With this, what questioning method did she use? Is it letter A, evaluative, letter B, tolerance, letter C, persistent counseling, or letter D, convergent? What's the answer? Good afternoon from Abu Dhabi, Ma'am Gemma Cinco. Hello po, ma'am. Ingat po kayo dyan. Oh, shy type ba yung team FB? Sino may sabi? Ma'am Rhea Regine Alaay Malabote, thank you po for tagging a friend and for starting a watch party. Okay, what's your answer for number 3? Our team Facebook is answering letter A. Our team YouTube is also answering letter A. And you are both correct, okay? So this is evaluative. Your teacher asked, what data is the graph concerned? What is it concerned with? It is not asking you what you see in the graph. And so we know that this is a questioning method in the evaluative level, okay? Evaluative na siya. That means you try to really analyze what is in the graph, no? Isisiparin mo yung graph, titingnan mo maigi, and so you will be able to answer this evaluative question here. What data is the graph concerned? So evaluative here, that's the correct answer. Tolerance, of course, this is not part of the correct choice here. Persistent counseling, hindi din siya, no? Parte sila ng question na parang pareho sila ng question kanina. And of course, convergent, you know that whenever you have a convergent question, this is a type of question that only has one correct answer. Okay, so usually I give the example, what is the biggest planet? What's the capital of the Philippines? Okay, so these are convergent questions. Now, when you say divergent questions naman, these are questions that can give us very good discussion. No? Yung divergent questions mo, these are questions that are open-ended. These are questions that do not have one final or one correct answer. Okay, so iba-iba yung magiging answer ng inyong mga students. But here, letter A is the correct answer for number 3. Tama. All right, now we go to number 4. What characteristic is being exemplified by a teacher or principal who allows an angry learner or let a parent pour out grievances? Is it letter A, just judge, letter B, expert problem solver, letter C, exceptional listener, or letter D, model and inspiration? What's the answer for number 3? Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for number 4? Sorry, number 4. Ligwak. It really hurts. Si Ma'am Jovelyn Gomora na ligwak daw. Ma'am Maria Victoria Campañero, first-timer dito sa Team Facebook. Paki-welcome naman po. Ma'am Mary Jean Martirez Jaime, maraming salamat. Si Ma'am Mary Jean, ang ating chairwoman sa ating welcoming committee sa Team Facebook. Okay, now a lot of you are answering letter C sa ating Team YouTube and sa ating Team Facebook, parehong letter C yung inyong sagot. And of course, that is the correct answer. You allow an angry learner or you let a parent pour out the grievances, whatever it is that they have inside them yung mga grievance nila. So you are being an exceptional listener. Okay, exceptional listener is the correct answer. Hindi po just judge, hindi expert problem solver, hindi din model and inspiration. But of course, you know that as a teacher, no, you need to be all of this. You need to be everything and more, no? So as a teacher, ang dami-dami mong ginagawa. Nurse ka, guidance counselor ka, sa election nag-help ka din, no? So we have so many duties and responsibilities as a teacher. There's a lot of things that are expected from us as teachers. So here, letter C is the correct answer. Now we go to number 5. This type of knowledge refers to how well you know the subject area of the topic being taught. What is this? What is this type of knowledge? Letter A, method knowledge. Letter B, content knowledge. Letter C, technological knowledge. Or letter D, pedagogical knowledge. Yes, kain po tayo, sabi ni Sir Vicmar Morenes on YouTube. Ang tigas naman nitong kakainin ko. Otak. Imported from the Philippines. Okay, what's your answer for number 5? Type of knowledge, which is referred to as how well you know the subject area of the topic being taught. Now, of course, a lot of you are answering letter B, content knowledge, and of course, that is the correct answer, okay? We are looking for content, and that is the correct answer. Now, always remember that it is a mortal sin to be teaching something wrong to your students, no? Content-wise, dapat palaging tama yung tinuturo natin. It is a mortal sin to teach your students something wrong, but of course, we are not perfect. Sometimes, we make mistakes, no? Even in our discussion, we make mistakes. So what we can do is to correct lang. I-correct lang yung ating mistake, okay? So we need to be humble enough to accept that we are not perfect because no one is. And so just try to correct whatever wrong or whatever mistake that you have given your student. This is not method knowledge. Method, of course, and pedagogical knowledge. Halos magkaparehas po yan. If you have not watched our video on teaching strategies, methods, techniques, no? Panoorin niyo po yan. What's the difference between your teaching method, teaching strategy, teaching technique, no? Panoorin niyo po yan. Meron na po tayong video niyan on YouTube. Of course, technological knowledge. This is with regards to technology. Napaka-importante ngayon na meron ka ding technological knowledge, especially with all the softwares that we're using now when we started going online. Okay, so here, letter B, content knowledge. That's the correct answer. Number 6. This is an essential and significant preliminary factor in the differentiated instructional process. Is it letter A, error difference? Letter B, entry-level indicators? Letter C, student-led initiative? Or letter D, varying level performance? What's your answer? Ma'am Marius Del Campo on YouTube, maraming salamat po sa iyong ayuda, ma'am. Maraming salamat. Thank you po. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 6? Sir Migs Manaay, if you are listening, please give me some water. Thank you po. Okay. Oh, ayun, may isa pang first-timer. Ma'am Lenny Hermoso, welcome po sa Team Facebook. First time from Palawan. Ayan, winelcome na siya ni Ma'am Mary Jean, ang ating chairwoman for our welcoming committee sa Team Facebook. Ma'am Elise Franco Ramos, maraming salamat po for starting a watch party. Thank you so much. Now, okay, medyo hati yung ating Team YouTube. May B, may D. Dito sa ating Team Facebook, may B, may D. May iilan din namang A. Ma'am Jane Sol Caragay, maraming salamat for starting a watch party. And Ma'am Den Mia, thank you po. Okay, now what do you think is the correct answer here? An essential and significant preliminary factor in the differentiated instructional process. Unang-una muna, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng differentiated instructional process? This means na hindi lamang iisang material yung binibigay mo sa iyong estudyante, no? Hindi lamang lahat ng materials na binibigay mo ay para sa doon sa magagaling magsalita or para doon sa mga magagaling sa math, no? Magagaling sa computation. As a teacher, you should give varied instructional materials and even varied instructional processes. So hindi po pwedeng lecture ka lang always, no? Meron kasi mga batang tactile, no? Those people who'd like to use their hands, those people who are bodily kinesthetic, gusto nilang gumagalaw sila, no? That they move while they're studying or while they're learning. There are students who are auditory. There are students who are visual. Okay, so we all have different learning processes. We all have different types of intelligences, as given by Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences theory. Okay, so that is differentiated instructional process. Iba-iba yung materials mo. Iba-iba din dapat yung iyong magiging process of teaching them. So what is the essential and significant preliminary factor in that process? Okay? Ano muna yung kailangan mong alam or kailangan meron bago ka makagawa ng inyong differentiated instruction? And of course here, the correct answer would be letter B, entry-level indicators. So what you do is you give them their pre-test, for example, or you give them their diagnostic test, or sometimes even yung mga activities na we ask students to answer during the first week, no? Yung mga getting to know you activities, how well do you study, how well do you learn, do you learn better when there are graphs, when there are graphic organizers, when you can see the words, so when there are pictures, do you learn better if you're just listening, no? Do you like doing laboratory activities, for example? So entry-level indicators po, yan yung pinaka-importante. Preliminary, okay? Your hint here is preliminary, and so we're looking for entry-level indicators, okay? And so you'll know, sa isang classroom ko pala na ito, sa aking Bio 1, meron akong, out of the 20 students, I have 5 students who have special needs, no? I have 5 students who have IEPs, for example. And I have some students who are fast learners. At dito, titingnan mo din yung socio-economic background ng estudyante. Meron ka mga estudyante kami ditong homeless. Meron mga estudyanteng palipat-lipat ng foster homes, no? So all of those you need to consider. So letter B, entry-level indicators. That's the correct answer. Okay, correct answer. Not error difference, not varying level performance. It's almost the same. Not student-led initiative. No, they can start with their initiative. We are still at the beginning of the process. No, so differentiated instructional process, entry-level preliminary factor. So number 6, that would be letter B. Now number 7, how is truancy be best understood and interpreted so that proper responses can be made to prove it? Is it letter A, absences without reason? Letter B, absences with permission? Letter C, absences due to family problems? Letter D, absences due to sickness? What's the answer? Okay, so meron din pala tayo ditong mga first-timers sa Team YouTube. Nasaan yung mga first-timers natin dito sa Team YouTube? Si Sir Lara is first-timer. Okay, so yon, Sir Jeron Flores Lara. Welcome po sa Team YouTube. Si Ma'am Cristina Ignacio, first-timer din. Welcome po. Sabi ni Sir Tres Reyes dito, mas understandable po ma'am pag Tagalog pag-explain mo. Okay. Yes po, we know that mas understandable pag Tagalog talaga, no? Sometimes I would usually also use English because as I'm not sure, no? New din yata si Sir Tres Reyes. So welcome po sa Team YouTube. We have some viewers who are from other countries, some viewers who are not Filipino. Okay, so meron tayong mga viewers na hindi Filipino. There are some viewers from India, from Pakistan, no? And so sometimes nagko-complain din sila sa akin. They'd say sometimes please use English more because I cannot understand when you talk Tagalog, when you talk in Filipino. But of course, we know that it is easier for all of you to understand if we are using Filipino. Ma'am J.M. De La Torre, Maraming salamat po for starting a watch party. Sir Kenichi Lorbes, thank you for sharing our video. Okay, what's your answer? Number 7. Anong sagot nyo dito? Karamihan sa inyo, okay, first time yung nakita itong question na to, no? Merong mga first timer na nakita yung question ito, no? But karamihan sa ating team YouTube, their answer is letter A. Karamihan sa ating YouTubers, answer is letter A. Dito sa ating Facebook, may A, may C. O, si Ma'am Chona Audan Raot. Sir Lara Heron, sinabi dito ni Ma'am Chona, matagal na yan si Sir Lara Heron Flores, ma'am. Baka nasa Facebook siya dati. First time niya doon sa YouTube. Ma'am Mary Grace Mabansag, maraming salamat po for starting a watch party. Now here, ang correct meaning kasi ng truancy, no? Truancy, hindi natin to kadalasang nakikita, naririnig sa Pilipinas, but this is very common here in the US. Truancy means absences without reason. Yung walang rason, absent yung bata. Why is this very significant here in the US? Dito po kasi, bawal silang umabsent, no? They cannot be absent for, yung max lang na absence nila would be 5 in a semester. So, semester is, yung isang semester namin is 18 weeks. 18 weeks. So sa 18 weeks na yan, dapat 5 beses lamang silang umabsent. Dito po kasi lahat i-provided sa students. May libre namang school bus, may libreng breakfast, may libreng lunch, no? So sa school nila, libre lahat. Libre lunch, libre breakfast, libre school bus. So papunta sa school, pauwi sa school, libre. And so many of our students here, especially those coming from poor families, which is almost all of my students are coming from low-income families, no? Many of them would prefer to be in school than to be at home dahil nga medyo minsan masalimuot yung kanilang family life, no? Our Filipino students sometimes, even if we are poorer, no, we are poorer than the Americans, sometimes we can say that we are luckier because ramdam natin yung pagmamahal ng ating pamilya, pag-aruga ng ating pamilya. Dito hindi masyadong gano'n, no? Napakabilis po ng time dito. Trabaho, no? So here, truancy means absences without reason. So bawal na bawal po silang umabsent, bawal silang mag-absent ng more than 5 days in one semester. If that happens, the parent and of course the child can be called to court, no? So pinapatawag po sila sa korte. Pinapatawag sila sa korte. They come before a judge, no? So dito kakasuhan ka because of course, you are allotted a certain amount, no, ng income ng inyong state. So hindi po pwedeng you are just putting that into waste. Okay? So that's truancy, absences without reason. That's letter A for number 7. All right, now number 8. Under the K-12 curriculum, what covers the spinal approach in the teaching of mathematics? Is it letter A, give autonomy to schools in choice of math subjects, or give autonomy to schools in choice of math subjects? Letter B, teach algebra, geometry, trigonometry only to higher grades. Letter C, progressively teach math concepts from grade 1 and continue to grade 10. Or letter D, teach algebra, geometry, and trigonometry in grade 7, 8, and 10 respectively. What's the answer? Hoy, kayo ha, may mga hugot kayo sa kantin ha. Diyan na lang kami mag-aaral, ma'am. Mas masarap kasi pag libre, sabi ni Sir Marjon Ibiesa. Wow, sana all libre, no? Sabi ni Ma'am Mera Joy. Dito. Diyan ba, sabi ni Sir Lloyd Manalo, sana all. Sa Pilipinas, galit pa yung nasa kantin. Yung tindera daw sa kantin, isang guhit ang kilay. Napansin pa yung kilay ng tindera sa kantin, Ma'am Tin, ha? Okay, yun nga lang. Pero dito, napakabilis ng oras, no? Parang palagi kang pagod, yung parang wala kang diversion. Yung doon sa Pinas, pag nasa Pinas, parang ang haba ng oras. Parang pag uwi mo galing trabaho, ang dami mo pang time makipagtsikahan, no? May time ka pa para gumala konti, dyan lang sa paligid nyo, of course, because naka-quarantine kayo, for example, no? May ECQ, GCQ. Dito, napakabilis ng oras. So, me and my husband were really talking to each other, talking with each other, and we're saying that we still prefer the Philippines. So we might go home in 2023. We don't know, but we feel like it's better to be in the Philippines. Tindera sa kantin, magagalit pag hihingi ng pasobrang sabaw. Ganon. Ma'am Karen Cortaga. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 8? Number 8 na po tayo. Team Facebook, kayo naman. Wala kayong reaction. Okay, yon, ligwak. Sir Joven Pineda, thank you po for starting a watch party. Kilay is life kasi sila. Ang liit ng isang serve na ulam. Sabi ni Ma'am Giselle Tumanday, ang dami niyong hugot against the canteen. Ma'am Jevelyn David Dino and Sir Omar Rodriguez, thank you po for starting a watch party. Now, going back to your number 8, ano nga ba yung spiral approach? What's the meaning of spiral approach? The correct answer here, of course, would be letter C. Progressively teach math concepts from grade 1 and continue to grade 10. Yan po yung pinaka-meaning ng spiral approach natin. No? Spiral approach is that paunti-unti, isang subject, for example, paunti-unti yung pagdi-discuss mo, pagti-teach mo ng concepts, no, from simple to the more complicated. So that's the spiral approach. Okay, so this is your spiral approach. This is actually from Bruner. So galing siya kay Jerome Bruner, no? This is also called recycling. And Bruner believes that children learn when they are exposed to a subject many times in different ways. In this way, teachers move from basic concepts to more complex ones over time. This theory is the basis for the way most school curricula and textbooks are organized. No? So now the K-12 is using this. So that spiral curriculum, which is also called recycling. This is from Bruner. Tandaan niyo po yan, baka lumabas sa LET. No? So recycling by Bruner, spiral curriculum. So paunti-unti. Okay, so paunti-unti po yung ginagawa. Okay, so that would be spiral curriculum. Now we go to number 9. When do schools start teaching specialized TLE in the K-12 of the Philippines? Lumabas ito sa 2019 na LET, no? So when do schools start teaching specialized TLE in the K-12 of the Philippines? Is it letter A, grade 1, letter B, grade 4, letter C, grade 7, or letter D, grade 9? What's the answer? Tagline ng Angel's Burger. Ano to, Ma'am Tin? Tagline ng Angel's Burger be like, unang kagat, tinapay agad. Pangatlong kagat, tinapay pa rin. Parang gusto ko lumipat sa FB. Sabi ni Ma'am Ritz Polon. Bakit po, Ma'am? Ayaw mo sa mga maiingay sa Team YouTube? Wala yata si Kapitan Barbosa. Ano na nangyari kay Sir Jewel? Saan na nadayo? Saan na napunta si Sir Jewel? Okay, now a lot of you on Team YouTube are answering B and D. Dito sa ating Team Facebook, karamihan D. Okay, karamihan dito sa kanila ay letter D. Welcome sa mga newbies natin. Sir June Amisola, thank you po for sharing our video and for welcoming our newcomers. Si Ma'am Jennifer yata, first timer. Nahanap ko yung ayon. Ma'am Jennifer Lucenia Rapira, first time po mag-join here. Thank you po. Hello po and welcome. Okay, what's your answer? Ayon, si Ma'am Eri Joy Palantang Dimhera, lumipat ako sa FB kasi blurred sa YouTube. Baka nasa setting po ng inyong video. Okay, so nandito na si Ma'am Eri Joy. Ma'am Jensen Albaran Ruiz, maraming salamat po for sharing our video. Sir Arnel Busmion, maraming salamat for starting a watch party. Okay, letter D. Sabi dito ni Sir... letter D daw, sure na sure, no? Si Sir Kenechi Lorbes. Okay, so first time, hello, Sir Juniel Masinon Par. Welcome po. Another first timer, Sir RD Canulo, parang palagi ka naman pong nanonood, Sir RD, or nagko-comment. First time yata mag-live stream. Okay, the correct answer here, of course, we're looking for specialized TLE in the K-12, and the answer is letter D. That's grade 9. Okay, so grade 9 po ang tamang sagot dito. Your specialized TLE is taught first when you are in your grade 9. Okay, so grade 9 ang ating tamang sagot. Yung grade 7 to 8 mo, grade 7, you'll start with your exploratory TLE. This is from the K to 12. And of course, grade 9 to 10, that's your specialized TLE. So in your question, kailan nagsisimula yung specialized TLE? That should be in grade 9. Okay, yung exploratory, grade 7 po siya, grade 7. Okay, now we go to the next question. Which program directly embodies both the pre-service and in-service programs for teachers? Is it letter A, K-12 program, letter B, basic education program or curriculum, that's the BEC, letter C, basic education sector, reform agenda, BESRA, or letter D, teacher education development program or TEDP? What's the answer for number 10? This is a common question. Ilang beses na yata natin itong naulit no, ng question na to. Ayon, si Kapitan, nakahabol daw. Kapitan Emerson Barbosa, nakahabol. All right, now a lot of you on Team YouTube are answering letter D. Ma'am Kurjin Tanse, I'm going to read your comments. Salamat po, Ma'am Mek. Marami po ako natutunan. Start na po ako mag-review with you kahit di pa ako makakapag-take ng LET sa March. Of course, the earlier you prepare, the better po. Ma'am Shella Luna Estimada Paderes, maraming salamat for starting a watch party. Welcome po sa lahat ng newbies natin. Sabi ni Ma'am Chona Audan Raut. Okay, what's the correct answer here? Which program directly embodies both the pre-service and in-service programs for teachers? Of course, the correct answer would be your Teacher Education Development Program or TEDP. Now, pre-service, of course, yung mga hindi pa nagtuturo, and in-service mo naman, this is your inset, no? Nangyayari ito usually prior to the school year, no? So usually, hindi ko alam sa public school kung gaano kahaba yung inset nila, no? In Ateneo, it's a month. Dito po sa Amerika, walang inset, no? So one day lamang, this is your laptop, this is your room, this is your blah, 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 ikaw nang bahala. And so, here, of course, wherever we are, mabilis naman tayong mag-adjust ng mga Pinoy. We are very flexible, no? That's something that we should all be proud of. Kahit saan mo ilagay yung Pinoy, mabilis mag-adjust, mabilis tayong makakope, no? With the differences and with the changes. And so, also, of course, the Filipinos are very humble. We would just easily ask people, no? Hindi tayo natatakot na magtanong kung meron tayong hindi alam. Okay? So, yan naman dapat yung ating gagawin. Huwag kang mag-pretend na alam mo lahat because no one knows everything. Okay, so if you don't know something, just ask. Okay, just ask. Now, this is not the K-12 program. K-12, of course, this is the curriculum that you're following now in the Philippines, basic education. This was prior to your K-12. Ano naman yung BESRA? I think I've included a slide here for your BESRA. That's basic education sector reform agenda. Okay, so this is BESRA, and this was enacted upon in 2005, no? This is part of the Schools First Initiative. And under BESRA, meron po siyang 4 na objectives. The first one would be universal adult functional literacy. Kaya kahit yung mga adults, kahit yung mga out of schools, binigyan na ng chance na matuto, no? That's universal adult functional literacy. Number 2 objective niya, universal school participation and elimination of dropouts and repetition. Okay, so dapat hindi na drop out, hindi na pinapa-repeat, wala nang repeater in the first 3 grades. So grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, wala nang repeaters, wala nang dropouts. Baka lumabas sa LETA kung saan ito nanggaling, that's under BESRA, Basic Education Sector Reform Program. Universal completion of the full cycle of basic education schooling with satisfactory achievement levels by all at every grade or year, no? So dapat makumpleto yung full year of basic education. That's your, of course, your elementary and of course your secondary. This was prior to the K-12, so wala pa po siyang senior high. And of course, lastly, the last objective, total community commitment to attainment of basic education competencies for all. Okay, so it's not just PTA, hindi na Parent Teachers Association, PTCA na siya, Parent Teachers and Community Association. Okay, so this is your BESRA. Tandaan po yung mga objectives, baka merong lumabas sa LET dyan. Okay, number 11. What solution can best address anticipated unruly student scenarios in class? What can you do to best anticipate? Okay, anticipate. That means you are being proactive. You are not being reactive. Hindi ka naghihintay na merong maging unruly, merong mag-misbehave. No, what you do is you anticipate it. You try to stop it before it actually happens. Is it letter A, spell out rules of discipline? Letter B, threats to unruly behavior? Letter C, set punishment for misbehavior? Or letter D, projection of teacher authority? What is the answer for number 11? Okay, for those of you who have questions on Team YouTube, no, sa mga nagtatanong pa kung paano mag-enroll, ayan po, nakapin yung message dyan. Follow our official Facebook page at doon po kayo magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan. Sir Michael Reyes, may question dito, ma'am. May final coaching po ba kami sa major namin? We are going to set up your final coaching. We will set up a live consultation with your coaches. So yan pong aming win-work out ngayon. We will check, especially we're waiting for the PRC. If they say push through talaga yung March, then of course we are going to set na the schedule for your final coaching and of course for your consultations with your coaches. Welcome, Sir Ruel, sa Team YouTube. Sir Ruel Papango. Good evening. Okay. Si Ma'am Jenaline Papango po ito. First time ko po sa live stream. Okay, so Ma'am Jenaline pala yung name ni Ruel Papango. Ginamit lang yata ni Ma'am yung account. All right. Now, what do you think is the answer for number 11? A lot of you on Team YouTube are answering letter A. What about Team Facebook? Sir Migs Manaay, please lower down the volume. Okay, a lot of you are also answering letter A here. The correct answer, of course, would be letter A. Tama yung letter A. Spell out rules on discipline. Okay, so this is what we do usually at the beginning of the school year, beginning of the class, no? So, first day pa lamang i-spell out muna yung rules mo on discipline. And of course, pinaka-importante is that you stay consistent. You become consistent with your rules. Hindi po pwedeng sinabi mo na ganito, pero hindi mo naman ginawa, no? It's okay, she won't do it. Okay, yan pa yung sasabihin ng mga estudyante mo. So again, you need to be consistent with your rules and you need to spell out your rules. Sometimes kasi yung students natin, hindi mo sila masisisi, they would misbehave because they don't know how to behave. No? Hindi mo sinabi na in this activity, bawal silang tumayo sa kanilang upuan. Okay, and so they don't know na bawal pala, you need to really spell out the rules. So for any activity that you have, even if you have your classroom management na yung meron kang rules talaga, meron kang routines, for every activity dapat klaro kung anong gagawin nila, yung voice level, your noise level nila, ano ba, pwede ba silang mag-talk sa kanilang groupmates, pwede ba silang mag-discuss as a pair, dapat ba quiet sila? Pwede ba silang mag-transfer from one station to another, for example? If you're doing your carousel, how many minutes should they allot for one station, for example? Dapat klaro, dapat laid out yung lahat ng tuntunin mo para makasunod naman yung inyong estudyante. Remember, we are the authority and we are the adults in our classroom, and so they just easily follow if everything is clear, no? Na nakalatag ng maayos, magiging klaro yung inyong instructions, and of course, magiging mabilis ang pagsunod ng iyong estudyante at wala pong masyadong unruly behavior. Okay, so letter A here is the correct answer. Now, number 12, social norms develop the good life. In society, which of the following is the least important to the consideration of a good life for all? Is it letter A, piety, letter B, justice, letter C, prosperity, or letter D, freedom? Okay, what's your answer for number 12? Nakakawala ng confidence pag ikaw na lang hindi LPT sa faculty nyo. Sabi ni Sir Mark Kinko, kaya nyo po yan. Kanya-kanya po tayong oras, no? Hindi po pare-pareho ang oras ng ating buhay. Okay? So, ngayon na po yung takdang panahon para sa inyo na maging LPT. Marami bang tambay? Sir Ralph Joseph Empainado, same mga ma'am at sir, mabuhay ang mga tambay. Hehehe, kakapagod din tumambay. First timer sa YouTube Live, Ma'am Evelyn Talde. Good evening po. Pero nanonood po ako sa YouTube. Thank you po. Laking tulong po talaga ang pa-free review nyo tulad nito. Salamat po. From Bicol po, Tabaco. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Evelyn, and welcome po sa Team YouTube. Join po kayo. Now again, let me just remind everyone, the next live stream that we have will be on Thursday. Okay, so Thursday po ang next live stream natin. What's the answer? What's your answer for number 12? Ano po yung sagot nyo for number 12? Sana mawala ng pandemic para makamarcha kami sa graduation, sabi ni Ma'am Jessica Perez. Alright, now a lot of you are answering letter A. Bakit letter A yung sagot ng karamihan? Why letter A? Pa-welcome naman si Ma'am Luan Diangco, sabi ni Sir R.D. Canulo. First timer po siya. So, first time, Ma'am Luan. Welcome po sa Team Facebook. Naiyayata si Ma'am Luan. I claim it, sabi ni Ma'am Juvelyn Gomora. Ramdam nyo naman no? Especially if you've already taken the LET, no? Pag take nyo ng LET, ramdam nyo pagkatapos nyong pag lumabas na kayo sa kwarto, ramdam nyo kung nakasagot ba ako ng tama. Feeling ko ramdam na ramdam ko na pasado ako no, ngayong LET. Okay, so mararamdaman nyo yan. Hopefully, mararamdaman nyo na pasado talaga kayo. Okay, the correct answer here, of course, we go back. Social norms develop the good life. Tingnan muna natin yung ating sentence dito. Social norms develop the good life. Now, when you say social norms, these are things that we do that are accepted in our society. No? So, pag sinabi ng social norms, these are things that we should follow so that we can be accepted in our society, so that we can become good citizens, so that we can become good members in our society. And they develop the good life. Ang good life po natin tinatawag dito peaceful life, walang away, no? Magandang life, smooth lang yung life mo. So in society, which of the following is the least important to the consideration of a good life? Saan dito yung hindi makakapagbigay sa atin ng good life, which means peaceful life, really good society, no? When we are following social norms. Now, your choices are piety, letter B, justice, letter C, prosperity, and letter D, freedom. Now, the correct answer here would be letter C. Letter C po, prosperity. Hindi kailangan marami tayong pera. Hindi kailangan na we are rich in material things, no? That is what your prosperity is talking about. Yung piety kasi, this is being the quality of being pious. That means you are religious in nature. Justice, of course, and freedom, that would go hand in hand, no? So pareho sila. You have your freedom, but of course, you should also give social justice or justice to other people that are around you. And piety, of course, this is in accordance to your justice and freedom. So prosperity dito yung ating list. Ito yung hinahanap nating list. Okay, so your prosperity, that is the correct answer for number 12. Hindi po piety. Okay, not piety. All right, now we go to number 13. Which evidence of learning can serve the most objective means of assessment? What is the correct answer here? Ligwak, ganun. It really hurts. Hindi yan nawawala sa board. Sabi ni Ma'am Hailey Jane Ramos Thomas. Mali. Genocide ba? Ma'am Prensa Irene Mislang Fernandez, thank you po for starting a watch party. Freedom, calling for freedom, fighting for freedom. Aba, may slogan, si Ma'am Najiba Guro. Hagardo Versosa, after LET exam. Tama yan, no? Pagkatapos ng inyong LET exam, para kang binugbog. Ako, ganun din yung naramdaman ko. Pagkatapos ng LET, para akong binugbog. Ma'am Mona Felizan, thank you po for starting a watch party. Okay, so number 13 na po tayo. We have 20 items for tonight, no? We are doing ProfEd tonight and we have 20 items. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Karamihan sa ating team, YouTube, letter A yung answer. At dito sa ating team Facebook, ganun din. Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Jovelyn Gomora dito, tama Ma'am Mek, mararamdaman mo talaga yon. Kaya nga pag take ko last 2019, pagkatapos, umiyak ako pagdating ng bahay kasi parang alam ko na ang result. Alam mo talaga, no, mararamdaman mo whether pasado or not. Okay, so hopefully in the upcoming LET, no, sa March 28, ramdam nyong pasado na kayo. Yan, sabi ni Sir Tres Reyes, very positive. I can't wait to be an LPD. Okay, now which evidence of learning can serve the most objective means of assessment? No? Yung hinahanap natin dito, most objective. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng most objective? That means wala kang bias, hindi ka subjective. No? You are fair in checking. You are fair in looking at the items. You are fair in scoring the work of your students. And of course, the correct answer here would be letter A, a test. Hindi po journal, hindi po dialogue, hindi po class project. Kaya nga yung ginagamit natin dito, gumagamit tayo ng scoring sheets or ng ating rubrics whenever we have a dialogue, whenever you have your class project, your journal. Okay? So hindi po sila yung objective. Letter A, test, that's the most objective here. Because of course, whenever you make your test, you have your correct answer. So what you do is you just check according to your key to correction or your answer key. So that is the most objective means of assessment here. Your journal, dialogue, your class project, you would have to use your rubric or your scoring guide para maging objective ka. Parang halos kaparehas siya ng essay, no? Your essay is the most objective form of test, no? So dapat meron kang scoring guide o meron kang rubric for you to check it objectively. And of course, yung sinasabi nga na dapat naka-cover yung names ng iyong students. Number 13, letter A, that's the correct answer. Now we go to number 14. Teacher Patrick evaluates an app for his grade 9 science class in order to ensure the right standards that meet his objectives. He gives emphasis on the criteria of letter A, accuracy, letter B, currency, letter C, organization, or letter D, appropriateness. What's your answer for 14? Ano po yung inyong sagot for number 14? Let's take a look at some comments that you have here. First timer, welcome to Team YouTube, Sir Rafi Rendora. Si The Life of LNG, meron question dito. Hello po, may tanong po ako. May mga area po ba na postponed ang LET? Thank you po sa pagsagot. Nagugulan na po kasi ako. I'm not sure if there are areas kung saan postponed ang LET. Meron kasing iba sa inyo, hinahanap nyo yung inyong specific na province, pero nakalagay kasi doon sa guidelines ng PRC ay all regional offices. So pag regional office yung nasa inyo, nasa lugar nyo, that means kasama na po kayo kahit hindi siya naka-itemize talaga, no, na Cebu, Iloilo, walang ganun doon eh. So sometimes you'd say, wala po bang exam sa Cebu? Wala po bang exam sa Iloilo? If they are regional offices, then there's going to be an exam. Ma'am Karen Betita, please do follow our Facebook page. Ayan po, nakapin po sa ating comment dyan sa YouTube so that you'll know the update. And of course, our schedule can be found posted there. Ma'am Amalia Lee, it's twice a year po. Twice a year po ang pag-take ng LET. Okay, yan. Katulad ng Iloilo, sabi ni Sir Marjon Ibiesa, no, hindi mo makita kasi regional office siya. So kasama na siya sa regional office. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? Ma'am Grace Lucanias, thank you po for sharing our video. Karamihan sa inyo dito sa Team Facebook, ang sagot nyo ay letter D. Dito sa YouTube, karamihan, D din. May ilang A. Okay? Now, number 14, Teacher Patrick evaluates an app. No? So, tinitingnan niya yung app, ina-evaluate niya yung app, gina-judge niya yung app for his grade 9 science class in order to ensure the right standards that meet his objectives. He is trying to check it, whether it is in accordance, whether it is coherent with his objectives, with his goals. He gives emphasis on the criteria of accuracy, letter B, currency, letter C, organization, or letter D, appropriateness. The correct answer here, of course, would be letter D, appropriateness po to, no? Now, this is a very good consideration. This is the best thing that you should consider, no? This is the most important thing or factor that you should consider whenever you are using an activity, whenever you are using a material and the app for your class. So, appropriateness talaga yung kailangan mong i-check. Hindi po accuracy, no? Kahit accurate siya, kung hindi naman siya akma sa iyong lesson, hindi mo siya po pwedeng gamitin. Kahit na current siya, no? Kahit organized siya, kung hindi siya akma sa iyong lesson, sa iyong objectives, sa iyong goals, hindi mo siya po pwedeng gamitin. Okay? So dapat coherent siya with your objective. If your objective is to compare a plant cell from an animal cell, then your activities, your softwares, your online activities should all be coherent with it. Kahit na gaano kaganda pa itong activity na to, kung hindi siya about sa comparison between your plant cell and your animal cell, you cannot use it. Now, this is a very common question in the LET, no? Paiba-iba lamang itong question mo dito, but your appropriateness is always asked in the LET. Meron tayong mga variant ng question na ito, no? In choosing your material, in choosing a class material, classroom activity, what should be the first priority or first consideration as a teacher? And your answer should be appropriateness. Meron din tayong question na, how can you check the appropriateness or if a certain material is effective in classroom, no? Is effective or is useful? The correct answer there is that you need to try it out yourself. Okay, so especially kung magkakaroon ka ng isang activity, laboratory activity for example, or meron kang online activity, ikaw mismo dapat itry mo siya if it's working, if there's something that you need to tell your students, now you have to click this first, you have to go to this part first before you can start, dapat you try it on your own first, okay? Try mo muna siya before you give it out to your students para you can also anticipate all the questions that they'll have. So before you can ask, before they can ask you the questions, alam mo na dapat isabihin mo sa kanila to para nga ma-avoid yung mga questions natin. Okay? Para dire-diretso, para smooth yung transition ng students mo. Kasi your students, whenever they have questions, whenever something is not clear to them, that could easily distract them, no? Nawawala yung focus ng estudyante mo. So dapat talaga appropriateness of your materials, appropriateness of your techniques, your strategies, and of course, try it out on your own. Try it out before giving it to your students. So letter D here, appropriateness, that's the correct answer. Now we go to number 15. In order to show continuity and wholeness in the delivery of lessons, what can teacher Kathy do about past lessons before presenting a new lesson? Is it letter A, preview, letter B, review, letter C, pre-test, or letter D, post-test? What's the answer? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot dito? Sir Jonas Yamot, first-timer sa Team YouTube. Welcome po. Sa Baguio po kaya, sabi ni Sir Lloyd Manalo, Baguio po yata ay regional office din. Try to check po, i-check nyo po list of regional offices of the PRC. Okay, now a lot of you on Team Facebook are answering letter B. Dito sa Team YouTube, ganun din. Many of you are answering letter B. Papatay-patay ang net ni Sir Gabrain. Hang on po, no? Kapit lamang po. Sama-sama tayong papasa, sabi ni Ma'am Najiba Guro. Tama po yan. Good evening, Ma'am Mek. Sabi ni Sir Noel Hazareno, may balak ko po sana mag-transfer ng testing center ko from Manila here to Nueva Vizcaya para di na po sana ako mag-travel going to Manila. Paano po magpapatransfer ng testing center dito sa probinsya? Now, all you can do po, Sir Noel, I cannot answer your question. What you can do po, of course, is to call the PRC. Tawagan niyo po yung PRC, sir, at mag-ask po kayo ng advice. Sir Michael Martinez, thank you po for starting a watch party. Inshallah, all of you are gonna pass the LET. Okay, first-timer on Team YouTube. First-timer pa lang mag-take ng LET, say, The Life of LNG. Alright, now going back to the question here, sabi no, show continuity and wholeness in the delivery of the lesson. Tapos sabi dito, what can you do about past lessons before you present a new lesson? Okay? Now, of course, you cannot do your preview. Hindi na siya matatawag na preview. Pre kasi, of course, when you say pre, the prefix pre means before. Now, you are talking about a past lesson. So, you cannot use the term preview. You also cannot use pre-test. Okay? Dahil tapos na, no? Yung post-test mo naman, you would usually give this, no, this is summative na, summative form of assessment, tapos na lahat. Okay, so that's your post-test. The correct answer here, of course, should be review. So review po ang tamang sagot, that's letter B. This is what you do with your past lessons before you present a new lesson. Now, it's also a very common question to the LET, no, yung common question din sa LET, why does a teacher do review before presenting? Why does a teacher do a review of the past lesson before presenting a new lesson? The correct answer would be continuity, no? So to show students the continuity para hindi maguluhan yung estudyante mo, makita ng estudyante yung sequence mo, no? Makita ng estudyante yung organization ng inyong activities, ng inyong lessons. So here, letter B, review po ang tamang sagot. Now we go to number 16. Under the K-12 curriculum, when does exploratory TLE begin? Okay, we've already had this in our discussion a while ago. Sir Tres Reyes on YouTube, ma'am, may majorship po ba kayo sa social science? Meron po. Just click on our official Facebook page and dyan po nakapin po sa inyong comment at mag-send po kayo ng message. Sir Tres. Okay, it'll be my first time po mag-take ng LET next year, sabi ni Ma'am Amalia Lee, pero mag-aral po ako ng advance. Mabuti po yan, no? Magandang preparation po yan, Ma'am Amalia. We have several students here who are joining us in our review, even while they are still students. Meron tayong minsan nagjo-join dito, third year college, second year college, no? Nagpe-prepare na sila. That is very important and that is very useful, no? Napaka gandang preparation for the LET yan. Okay, what's your answer? Some of you are answering B, others my D, my A. Aba, very sure. D ko na-check sagot ko. What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, karamihan sa inyo, ang sagot nyo ay letter B. And the correct answer, of course, is letter B. We've already mentioned this. Exploratory TLE in your K-12 begins at grade 7, while your specialized TLE would begin in grade 9. Okay, so exploratory, explore lang muna sila. Wala pang specialization sa TLE. That's grade 7. Your specialized TLE would begin at grade 9. Okay, so letter B po ang sagot natin dito, letter B. Now we go to number 17. Which of the following situations would indicate that you, as a teacher, had been effective in instilling discipline among your students? Is it letter A, students have developed concern for each other? Letter B, fear and fright resulting in good behavior? Letter C, students behave because an award awaits them? Or letter D, your presence results in their being behaved? What's the answer for number 17? From Ma'am Amalia Lee, super blessed po ako na nakita ko yung reviewer nyo sa YouTube, ma'am. Nagtitake din po ako now sa majorship course nyo. Ah, very good, Ma'am Amalia Lee. Ma'am, si Ma'am Shirley, no? Dito sa YouTube, repeater po ako, nakakadami na po ako, hari nawa, ito na yung time nating lahat para makapasa. Thanks po, Ma'am Meg. Pagtrabahuan po natin yan. I know that you are all learning. I know that some of you are seeing big improvement in your scores, no? So wag po kayong bumitaw, dire-diretso lamang po. Do not lose hope. At wag po kayong mag-discourage dahil sa mga taong nasa paligid nyo, no? Yung mga taong minsan wala nang tiwala sa inyo, no? Again, kanya-kanya po tayo ng timeline sa buhay. Kaya wag po kayong mawawalan ng pag-asa. Sometimes one person would become successful ahead of you. But of course, meron kang sarili mong timeline nga. Sabi ko nga, meron tayong kanya-kanyang timeline. No? So we can work on it. Yung importante meron tayong time at meron tayong chance na maibago, no? Mabago natin kung ano yung past natin pagkakamali, kung ano yung past natin na failure, no? Ika nga we all make mistakes. Sabi nga, we all make mistakes. What we do after that is what matters. Okay? So hindi po sa pagkakamali po tayo natututo. So wag po tayong mawala ng pag-asa. Go lang po ng go, fight lang po ng fight. Learning naman does not stop. And of course, habang may buhay, may pag-asa, no? So wala namang limit yung let. Kayang-kaya po yan. Kayang-kaya po yan, ma'am. Okay, so pagtatrabahuan natin na maipasan yung lahat yung inyong let, and of course that you are all become, you can all become LPTs, no, in the upcoming let. Si Sir Carl Gaurano, maraming salamat for your comment here. Pass or fail, you and your husband have been a huge blessing to all of us, to a lot of us. Maraming salamat po. Okay, now what's number 17? Which of the following situations would indicate that you as a teacher had been effective in instilling discipline among your students? What do you think is the correct answer here? The correct answer, of course, would be letter A. Students have developed concern for each other. Yung kahit wala ka, alam na nila, no, may concern na sila para sa isa't isa, no, na-instill mo na yung discipline. Hindi kailangang nandyan ka para mag-behave sila. Hindi kailangang may fear and fright sila, no, sa'yo para maging good yung behavior nila. And hindi kailangan because of an award lamang kaya sila nagbe-behave, no? If they have genuinely developed a real concern for each other, then you can say that you have really instilled discipline in them. Kasi this already for the long run, no? In the long run na siya, this already something that comes naturally for them because of the things that you're teaching them, because of your routines, because of the classroom management that you're doing. So letter A here ang ating tamang sagot. Now, number 18, the sociogram reveals that 4 students in your class formed a clique. This means that the teacher should allow them to be together all the time, encourage them to join other groups with similar interests, or letter C, discourage them from joining other groups. Letter D, disband the group. What's the answer? Oh, yun. Si Pastor Efren Esteban, may binigay sa inyo dyan, no? A time for everything, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Okay, so tama po yan. Now, again, si Pastor, no, si Pastor tuloy, si Brother Efren ay palagi may live stream if you want some inspiration, yung guidance, no, yung maturo. Ako minsan, pag meron ako talagang time, nakikinig ako kay Brother Efren at sa lahat ng mga brothers na nagiging guest niya. So napakaganda pong makinig, and it's very realistic, and it's very tawag dito, very relatable, no? So you can comment there, pwede kang magbigay ng iyong komento ng inyong sarili mong experience. Okay, letter B. Nasa amin pa lang daw si Sir Mr. Lover. Okay, letter B, karamihan sa inyo, pinakamabait na sagot, sabi ni Sir Nap Lumugdang. Hello po, Sir Nap. Letter B, pinakamabait na sagot. B, sure na. What about Team Facebook? Ano po yung sagot nyo for our question? This is already question number 18. We're almost done. Sir Jason Abarquestante, again, thank you po for starting a watch party and for sharing our video. Okay, karamihan sa inyo, ang sagot nyo ay letter B. And of course, that is the correct answer. Okay, pinakamabait na sagot, sabi ni Sir Nap, no? Encourage them to join other groups with similar interests. Now, remember that whenever you are using your sociogram, this is a software, no? May software tayong sociogram. Meron ding tinatawag na graphic organizers tayong sociogram where you can see the social relationships of your students. So you can see that this type of student is a star. That means he or she is friends with everyone, no? He or she is always approached by a lot of her classmates or his classmates. Now, meron ka din namang mga loners, no? Yung mga walang friends, mga palagi nasa sulok lamang. Meron ka ding tinatawag na clique. Yung clique mo, this is a group of students that would always be together. partner. Okay? So palagi silang click, no? Palagi silang grupo-grupo, partner-partner, palagi silang magkakasama, even during recess, even during mga breaks, no? Palagi silang magkakakwentuhan. Meron ako mga nakikitang click dito sa aking classroom, no? Meron ako mga Blackpink clicks, no? Yung mga mahihilig sa Blackpink. Meron mga American students ako na mahihilig sa Blackpink. So, they are my cliques in my classroom. Palagi silang magkakasama. Miss Manay, do you know what Blackpink is? Yes, of course. Oh. Okay, kinikilig na kaagad sila. Who's your favorite Blackpink? I'd say si Lisa. Oh, okay, kilig na kilig sila pag alam mo yung Blackpink or your BTS, no? So may mga K-pop fans dito. So these are your cliques. Now they have similar interests, similar likes, no, and dislikes. So sometimes you also have cliques of basketball players, football players. Merong mga yung sa academic challenge ko, yung mga nerds, no. So these are some examples of your cliques. But then of course, as a teacher, hindi po pwedeng hayaan mo na lamang sila to be together all the time, no. I-discourage mo sila from joining other groups or i-disband mo yung group. Hindi din po pwede. And so what you can do is to also encourage them to join other groups with similar interests or maaring even with different interests, no? Sabihin mo, you should also join them or sometimes you should break them apart, no? So sa grouping mo, wag mo silang isasama-sama, wag mo silang pagsamahin lagi. So letter B, encourage is the correct answer, okay? Letter B, encourage. Now we go to number 19, second to the last. The proper care and maintenance of instructional materials is an important part of the teaching learning process. Each material has its own proper use and care. In general, rules must be observed with regard to these instructional materials. Which of the following is not one of the rules? Is it letter A, use hand tools or equipment for all purposes? Letter B, use only tools which are in good condition. Letter C, dull-edged tools must be sharpened regularly. Or letter D, tools, materials must be kept at the right places where they should be. What's the answer? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer? May problema yata sa internet ni Mr. Lover 2009. Going back to the question, ano nangyari kay Sir Jewel? Nawawala si Sir Jewel. Hashtag nasaan si Jewel? Ma'am Sherlene Gonzalez, salamat po, Ma'am Mex. Since 2012 na nag-take po ako at di napalya sa pagtitake. Now lang po ako napatigil gawa ng pandemic. Nakadalawang resched na po. Sana ito na po yun. Kaya big thanks po. Okay, pagdasal po natin yan, ma'am. And of course, pagtrabahuan natin. Wala naman po nangyayari pag hindi natin if we don't work hard for it, then we cannot reach our dreams. Ika nga you should have big dreams. Okay? So whenever you dream, you should dream big. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 19? We are looking for the exemption. We are looking for the thing that we shouldn't do. Ma'am Cristel Samar, thank you po for sharing our video. Okay, what is the answer? Is it letter A, letter D, letter C, or B? Now, the correct answer here, of course, sabi dito ng inyong question, proper care and maintenance should be done. Okay, parang pang TLE itong ating question, no? Each material has its own proper use and care. In general, rules must be observed. Okay, so yan yung sinabi ng inyong question dito, dapat may proper care and maintenance ka, may proper use and proper care yung kada material, and of course, it should be observed. All these rules should be observed. Now, another hint, no? When you are taking the LET po, pwede nyo pong sulatan yung inyong questionnaire, no? So if you are a learner, for example, like this, no, yung mga hints mo, yung mga very important words mo, po pwede nyo pong i-circle, po pwede nyo pong linyahan, po pwede po yan, no? Pwede po yan sa LET. Yung pinaka-importante lang, alagaan nyo po yung inyong answer sheet na hindi siya mapunit, hindi siya mabasa, hindi maraming lead, no, na nakasulat doon. The correct answer here, of course, will be letter A. Letter A po yung tamang sagot dito. Use hand tool and equipment for all purposes. Ito yung part dito na naging mali, no? For all purposes. Eh, sabi nga ng question mo dyan, they all have their specific use and care. They all have its own, or they all have its own proper use and care. Use only tools which are in good condition. Tama po yan. If there are dull-edged tools, dapat sharpen sila. And of course, you should keep tools at the right places para naman walang madisgrasya, baka may maupuan, no? Maupuan ng mga tools, o para hindi ka mahirapang hanapin yung mga tools. And so letter A is the correct answer here. Okay? Genocide. Okay, so letter A po yung tamang sagot dito. We are looking for not one of the rules. Okay, huwag kaligtaan. Again, tingnan nyo po maigi yung inyong question, no? So not one ay nandyan. All right, now number 20, the ability to perceive how objects are related. Okay, erase ko lamang ito. How objects are related in order to mentally perceive what is seen, thus creating concrete visual images from memory refers to blank intelligence. Is it letter A, visual spatial, letter B, musical, letter C, language, letter D, logical reasoning? What's the answer for 20? Oh, ayan. Napakagandang attitude yan. Sir Mark John Gotham. Ligwak and learn. Yan dapat, no? Ma'am Karen Cortaga, Ma'am Mek, big factor po ba ang pag-shade sa let? Kahit tama sagot mo, pero di maayos ang pagkaka-shade, magiging mali po ba ang sagot? Now, you always need to remember that what's checking your let is a machine, no? Sa machine, yung nag-check, hindi po siya manually check, no? So machine po yung nag-check ng inyong let items, yung let nyo. And so kailangan tama po yung pagkaka-shade nyo. That is the reason why in our Google Classrooms, especially sa major sheet nyo, meron po tayong answer sheet doon. So i-download nyo po yan, and of course you should practice shading. Mag-practice po kayo ng shading nyo. Minsan kasi mali yung pagkaka-shade, no? Kaya namamali yung sagot nyo. And of course, also do not forget that you should not skip numbers. So again, as I've mentioned, machine po yung nag-check ng inyong let. And so if you skip a number, may nakalimutan kang balikan na number, no? For example, nakalimutan mo yung number 5, what the machine would do is your answer for number 6 will be interpreted as your answer for number 5. Your answer for number 7 will be interpreted as your answer for number 7. No? So mali-mali na yung pag-check niya. So dapat talaga wala kang ma-miss na item. I'd always tell you, you always start with the easy items. No? Unahin nyo yung easy items. Of course, I am going to teach you this for our final coaching, kung anong dapat yung unang-unang gagawin. But of course, you start with the easy items, balikan nyo lamang yung mga difficult items nyo, but always, of course, do not forget to go back to your missed items. Sa mga items na na-skip nyo, balikan nyo po yan lagi. Because again, as I mentioned, machine po yung nag-check ng inyong let, hindi po siya manually checked, and so your machine can become confused, no? So mali yung pag-check ng machine. Okay, so this is already 20, the last question tonight, and we are almost done with our ProfEd tonight. Now, again, the next live stream that we have will be on Thursday. Thursday, that's going to be for Gen Ed. And of course, Friday, that's going to be for ProfEd. Saturday, Sunday of the following weekend, wala po tayong live stream. We are just going to have your majorship. But of course, what you can do not wait for our live stream only. Wag po kayong depend lamang sa ating live stream. We have so many videos that you can find on YouTube. Meron po kami playlist for all the live streams that we've had. It's almost 70, kung hindi more than 70 na, no, yung ating live stream videos. Balikan nyo po yung lahat, no? Even in your own time, even if you are alone, balikan nyo po yung lahat ng ating videos, lahat ng mga na-miss nyo. If this is your first time, maybe several times of watching us, all the videos can be found on YouTube. Nandun po sa ating live stream na playlist. So balikan nyo po yan lahat. We have more than 60 videos, almost 70 videos na for our live stream. So lahat po yan are relevant items, and lahat po yan lumalabas sa let. So balik-balikan nyo po yan, mag-marathon po kayo while waiting for our next live stream. Again, the next live stream is going to be on Thursday. That's the 14th of January. Then of course, 15th, we are still going to have your ProfEd. Then by that weekend, wala po tayong live stream. The following weekends, of course, your live stream schedules will still be the same. Saturday, Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Okay, so sabi dito ni Ma'am Amalia Lee na save na niya yung playlist. Okay, so balikan nyo po lahat ng inyong mga playlist, lahat ng mga videos doon. Lalong-lalo na yung mga importante nating videos, no? Hindi lamang yung nasa live stream natin, yung mga nasa ProfEd, nasa GenEd, yung sa science videos natin. Yung ProfEd nyo, you have your curriculum development. Meron tayong tatlong videos doon. Meron akong Code of Ethics. Meron tayong 4 Pillars of Learning. No? May teaching profession din akong videos. So balikan nyo po yung lahat. I'm trying to make more videos. If I have a time, if I've got time now, I'm going to make more videos on relevant topics that we have. Okay, so again, that's Thursday and Friday of the following week. Wala po tayong Saturday and Sunday na schedule dahil birthday po ng aking ex-boyfriend na aking husband, of course. Okay, so magbe-birthday siya ng Saturday and so I'll be very busy. I cannot be with you on Saturday and Sunday. So Thursday, Friday po ang ating magiging live stream the following week. All right, the ability to perceive how objects are related in order to mentally perceive what is seen, thus creating concrete visual images, of course, very obvious. This would be letter A. Okay, so letter A to visual spatial intelligence. Musical, you all know, this is for your musicians, composers, lyricists, no, sa ating mga singers. Language, this is your verbal linguistic na intelligence. Those people who are very good at talking, at speaking, no, your poets mo, writers, they can fall under this. Logical reasoning, of course, this is under your mathematical logical reasoning, mathematical logical learners or intelligences. Okay, these are people who are very good at math, very good at logic. Okay, so these are the different types of intelligences that we have. We've already discussed this in our previous live stream, so hindi ko na po iisa-isahin pa. All right, so that ends tonight's discussion of the 20 items that we have for your ProfEd quizzes. Again, the next live stream will be on Thursday. Abangan niyo po yung ating quizzes link that will be posted on our Facebook page. Follow our Facebook account, our Facebook page. That's Guru Pinoy. Of course, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can easily be updated whenever we have our live stream. And of course, follow us on Facebook. You can also download our app, no? Nandiyan din yata sa ating Facebook. Thank you. Till next time, Ma'am Grace Lucenias. Yung voice mo, ma'am, yung totoong pumukaw sa akin. Napakaganda ng speaking voice. Probably matututo talaga yung listeners. God bless. Maraming salamat po. Okay, so thank you so much. Of course, as teachers, alagaan niyo po yung ating yung inyong mga bosses, no? Napaka-importante alagaan natin yung ating bosses. Yan po yung ating bread and butter, ika nga. Okay, I'll keep this because of course these slides are going to be found in Grow in a few minutes. So if you are still not a member of Grow, again, magpa-member na po kayo sa Grow. Okay? Now, of course, we end our night with our closing prayer. Maraming salamat, Brother Efren Esteban, for preparing our prayers. Okay, samahan niyo po ako sa ating closing prayer.
Sana po, Panginoon, sa amin pong pansamantalang paghihiwalay, sa oras po na ito ay dala po namin ang kapayapaan, ang tibay po ng aming loob, Panginoon. Sa gitna po ng mga pagsubok na dumarating sa aming buhay, O Diyos, sana po ikaw ay lagi naming kasama. Huwag mo po kayong pababayaan, Panginoon. Ikaw po ang aming inaasahan sa lahat ng pagkakataon. Ikaw po ang Diyos ng karunungan. Ikaw po ang Diyos na makapangyarihan. Kaya iniaasa po namin ang lahat sa inyo. Patuloy mo po na pagpalain ang family ni Ma'am Meg at saka ni Sir Ram. Maging ang aming mga pamilya, O Diyos. Dalangin po namin ang pagbuti ng kalagayan ng aming paligid, O Diyos. Sana po ilayo mo po kami sa anumang sakit o anumang karamdaman, Panginoon. Patuloy mo po na pagpalain ang mga namumuno sa amin, O Diyos, na magkaroon ng dakilang pag-ibig, ng pagkakaisa, ng sinseridad sa kanilang paninilbihan. O Diyos, salamat sa lahat at sana po ay baon namin ang pagmamahalan sa bawat isa sa amin at pagdadamayan, O Diyos. Salamat po, ikaw po nawa ang siyang maitaas at makilala sa bawat pagkakataon. Patawarin niyo po kami, O Diyos, sa aming mga pagkukulang sa inyo upang maging karapat-dapat po kami sa inyo, Ama. Sa pangalan ni Jesus, ito po ang mga aming dalangin. Amen.
Amen at amin para sa ating mga kapatid na Muslim. Okay, so again, this ends tonight's discussion of our live stream for professional education. Again, shout out sa lahat-lahat. Maraming salamat po for being with us. Good night. And of course, this has been Coach Mek of Gurong Pinoy, and I leave you the saying, maliit man na butil ng mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat po. Good night. I'll see you on Thursday. Again, go to our Facebook page for any of your questions, and of course, go back to all the live stream videos that we have on YouTube. Bye! Good night, people. Sleep well.